Yes.
All right. So, hey everyone, how you doing? Peter Byram here, and today we are with one of our members, one of our amazing members in the next level photography training program. Today we are with Amanda White from AR White Photography. And Amanda, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Peter. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm so glad to have you here and happy to do this kind of catch up interview with you.
Yeah,
Um,
be here.
Yes. So Amanda, let's just kick it off by tell me a little bit about like where you were at before joining Next Level. Like what were you doing to grow your business and what was kind of going on with you?
Yeah. So I had some leads coming in through mostly Wedding Wire, a few through Facebook, but mostly referrals through like venues and coordinators in a smaller community. So basically, I was just kind of waiting for the leads to come in, and then I would respond to the leads with my price sheet because that's what they wanted. They asked for pricing every single time, so I thought I was giving them what they wanted by doing that. So that's
Yeah,
how I would.
and what was really the challenge that you were facing with that?
It just like it would come and go. Like there was never really a steady, um, a steady supply of leads coming in. Maybe like maybe 3 to 4 a week, which still wasn't too bad. But once I responded to them with the price sheet, they were gone. Like a lot of times, so that would really whittle down quite a few people because I wouldn't hear back from them, and then I wasn't sure what I was doing wrong. I was giving them what they wanted.
Yeah, they asked for the pricing, so you sent them the price sheet, and then they disappeared, right? Yeah.
Severe, right? Exactly.
And so a lot of these guys, they were coming from like different, you said other like venues and other vendor referrals, and then also like Wedding Wire and the Knot too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes.
some Facebook, some of that stuff going on. Okay.
Mhm.
And I remember when we started working together, like your main goal was really that you wanted to like double the size of your business, right?
Right.
And so I think you were doing around 7K a month because I think it was around like, does that sound right to you?
Yeah. That sounds about right. Yes. I
Okay.
think. I know I did like 70,000 last year.
Okay. So yeah, like 6 to 7K. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so let's get into this then. So like the thing that's pretty amazing is like your results in May, right? So tell us a little bit about what happened in May.
Um, yeah. So I joined your program, and instantly like started adding, just following your protocol. I watched all the videos and I started like inviting people to be friends on Facebook. Was one of the first things I did, and then from there, like I created a Facebook group, a wedding planning group, and then started just inviting people to that. So, and then I, with your help, ran a couple ads, started getting a lot of leads through the ads. People were starting messaging me on Facebook. I booked, quite a few right off the bat, and with Instagram too, using some of your tactics. So yeah,
Nice. So this is interesting. So you went from getting most of your business from referrals,
right,
right? And, Wedding Wire to now really leveraging social media.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's crazy. Like let's take a step back for a second.
yeah.
So let's walk through how you were really like how were you actually taking these people from just like a stranger to a paying client on Facebook?
Yeah, it was awkward at first. I basically like just found the right kind of conversation starter with your help, and just started messaging people once they had accepted my friend request, because I kind of felt like, well, they've accepted my friend request. By finding those people, I basically was going through like venues. I was looking at venue sites on Facebook, and so there's a couple like group sites around here for geared towards weddings, but really hardly anything. So, I guess I had just kind of invited enough engaged couples that Facebook started seeing that I was liking or accepting all the requesting friends that were engaged. So it started sending me in my suggestions list mostly engaged couples. It's still doing that. So that's where I'm getting most of my engaged couples at this point from. And then once I send an invite and they accept, then I'm messaging them and just saying, hey, how's it going? How's wedding planning? I saw we had a few mutual friends in common. How's wedding planning going? And all the craziness right now. Just kind of leveraging COVID as much as possible. And then, some people don't respond back, but a good number do. And then they would respond back, hey, yeah, it's going pretty crazy. Either I haven't really started planning anything, or we're at a standstill because of COVID. So they kind of felt like they could open up to me. And then I positioned this Delmarva, or my wedding planning group, and asked them if they, would mind if I sent them an invite to that group, and they were like, most people are very grateful. So I sent them that, and then they accept, and now they're in the group, and we're up to 270 members or something.
That's so cool. That's amazing. So there's a lot to unpack there. So like, just for people listening at home, like Amanda started working with us back in beginning of April, and we're in June now. So just in a couple months, you started that group from scratch, right? Yeah. And now you have 270 members in that group, which is pretty cool. It's really cool. What's even cooler is how many of those have become your clients, right? Yeah. But so you were just going out and looking for people who look like a fit, right? And adding them as a friend. And then you would message them. And do you ever just take them from that message to a call? Or is it mostly going to the group?
Yeah, it just kind of depended on where they were. And I think because of COVID, a lot of them, they just weren't doing much. So I didn't want to overwhelm them. If they had a date, then I was like, yes, let's get on a call. Can we, just jump on a quick call and right here in Messenger. And then once I did get them on a call, they would either do that or Zoom, which I kind of I'm starting to get better at it, but the quick calls are more geared towards just building the rapport, and then hopefully getting them to a Zoom call. But yeah, then I would kind of talk to them about some epic moments and like photo moments that they could plan out, like maybe doing a first look with their dad or something like that. And they just, I've had so many people just be so grateful that I took the time to do that with them. They're only a few months out and they never thought about some of these things. So I think just taking the time to do that just puts you at the forefront of their minds. So then if they weren't really too far along in their planning, or I felt like they weren't really ready, then I would add them to the group either way, but I wouldn't extend an invite to call them yet.
So I
just wanted them to get in the group to start seeing some of my work, and they just, one by one, they're just reaching out to me because they're seeing my work now.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. It's cool how that works. So let me see, again, let me make sure I understand. So basically what you're doing is you're adding people, sending messages to them, and talking about planning. So You're kind of going in you're not going up to people and being like, hey, I'm a wedding photographer, hire me for your wedding, right? Mm-hmm. You're starting off by giving them some value, offering to help them a little bit. And people are really receptive to that. And so I know sometimes people struggle with this. How do you transition from, in a conversation, how's wedding planning going, to let's get on a phone call?
They give you some signals, basically if they're, once they start opening up about how wedding planning is going for them, most of the time, if they haven't had a photographer and they need a photographer, they're saying, hey, I noticed you're a photographer. Do you have this date open? I mean, it's that simple. You're just starting a conversation with them. So they're not stupid. They're getting on my personal page and they're seeing that I'm a photographer, and I've been continuously posting, new work to my personal page. So I'm just kind of I've been kind of just waiting for them to bring it up at this point. But if they've started planning, don't really have a date, and I have the time available, then I might be hey, I could probably help you with some of the planning if you have a few minutes to hop on a quick call. And a lot of times, right, yeah, great. So you just start building rapport, they hear your voice, and then you start being helpful to them. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. They're not stupid. They have awareness around, they have a certain amount of awareness around the market and in the niche. In other words, what I mean by that is that they're actively looking for somebody, right, who does what you offer.
Right.
And so then they come to you, but you're just initiating, starting a conversation, and then you get them on a call. And so then if you get somebody on a call, what do you do from there?
So if they don't have a date and they don't have a whole lot of things ironed out right now, I don't spend a lot of time going over pricing or anything. I'm just kind of getting to know them, getting to know some of their thoughts and ideas, and trying to get them to open up to me in a phone call. And then at that point, say they're not quite ready, then I would just be hey, well, you're a member of the group. Please feel free to invite other engaged couples so that we can build this community and it can really grow. And then also encouraging them to post, which now we've got a ton of just members posting. I'm not even having to do it every day anymore. So they're just asking questions and stuff. So you kind of encourage them to do that. And then I just kind of leave it alone. I mean, if they're not ready to buy, they're not ready to buy. On the other hand, if they tell me they have a date, and at that point they'll usually be we don't have a photographer, but your work is gorgeous. They'll say something like that. And then I'll be awesome, would you have a few minutes to chat over the phone, or get them on a Zoom call, even better. And then I kind of just share my screen with them, talk to them about some of my images, show them some galleries that might be pertaining to their style of wedding, and then maybe they're doing a barn wedding, even better. they're doing a wedding at one of the venues I've already shot at, and I'll show them that gallery. And then I'll talk to them about their kind of their timeline and some of those, like I said, epic photo moments. And then just ask them, when you're looking at photos, what are the kinds of things that you don't want your photographer to miss? What are some moments that you want captured, and just trying to get them to open up as much as possible.
Got it.
So there's two categories I'm seeing. There's two. One, not ready. They're in the groove. I just keep posting. They see my work. They see the interactions I have between group members. Every engagement session that I have, or session, even wedding, that I do with a group member, I post in the group, and I'm like, tag them, and they respond with, wow, mind blown, love these images. Or even if they say something really simple, like, these are so great, thank you so much, I'll message them and I'll be like, hey, would you mind leaving me a quick testimonial on that Facebook post? And they'll just comment with how easy I was to work with, and then kind of go into it a little bit more. So
wow, that's smart.
That's pretty powerful.
That's really smart. And so now, like, from there, you said that you're starting to get more and more people just like inbound messaging you now.
Yeah. They're just like seeing my work, and they're just messaging me like every day now.
What do they say to you when they message you?
Hey, do you have this date open?
And then what do you say back to them?
Well, now since working with you, I've got a couple of associates that I've added on. I've got a videographer, and like growing this like crazy. So I'm saying there's a very good possibility that we can make a date work. So if I'm available, then I'll tell them, yes, I'm available. Do you have a few minutes to chat? Can you hop on a Zoom call?
Yeah, there we go. So this is really interesting. So now everybody goes on a Zoom call with you versus in the beginning, well, not in the beginning, but in the old days for you,
right?
You were like, you'd get a lead in the email inbox and you would send back the pricing sheet, and then maybe they would book, maybe they wouldn't, maybe they would ghost, they would disappear into the ether forever. But now somebody messages you, and you always take them onto a phone call. Why do you do that?
Phone call. Yeah, for sure, always a phone call. Why I do that? Because you need to sell them on why they should pay this amount. And so by doing that, I'm talking to them about their day, talking to them, oh, yes, you want those shots? Absolutely. And this is how we can get those shots for you. And I'm positioning myself as like the one that can answer all of it for them. I think just building the rapport and being personal. I've had so many people tell me you just keep doing what you're doing. Like, since working with you, I've had clients say exactly this to me. Keep doing exactly what you're doing, because it's far more personal than what every other photographer has done for me. And I get so much value out of it. People are messaging me, just thanking me for inviting them into the group even, because I post so much, collectively, we post so much great information for them. And just, be a resource for them. And, even if they're not ready, doesn't mean they're gone. They're still seeing my work. And I have quite a number of people that I book at least, at least a couple sessions a week, maybe like usually one wedding, every couple, 1 to 2 a week, and then just using those tactics.
Yeah. So I know a lot of times photographers aren't used to getting on the phone with people, right? Very often, like, the way that you were handling leads and inquiries is pretty common in the industry, right? Like the way that you used to do it. Like, what would your advice be to someone who, like, this is a new sales process for them? Like, right? Getting, messaging people cold, starting conversations, getting people on the phone. Like, what would your advice be to somebody who's new at that, who maybe it feels a little bit uncomfortable to them?
Just do it. Just friggin' Peter says to do it, so do it. It will work, 100%. It will work. So it's going to be, just plow through the uncomfortableness and just do what he says.
It's good advice. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, like, it's going to feel weird, uncomfortable, but I've been in this business long enough to know that is a good feeling. So for me, it wasn't totally unfamiliar, and I've always been adapting. What I needed was a push in the right direction. I just needed, a mentor to kind of tell me what I thought already was right, and then coming up with a whole bunch of new ideas. But so if you're hiring you, in my mind, I've hired you to help solve a problem for me, which is, how do I take it from 70K to 140K in a year? And in my mind, I'm paying you to come up with those solutions for me, and I'm going to take every bit of advice that you give me, and I'm going to run with it. I'm going to just take it as far as I can take it, because you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing. And then once you do it, and it works, because it will work, you just get more confident. And you're like, okay, I know it works now. I'm getting positive feedback. People are telling me they're loving the way I'm doing it, and the people that just ghost you or whatever, it's okay. It's a numbers game in a lot of ways. So you're just going to move on to the next person. Don't focus on the one that you lost. Instead, channel that energy onto the ones that you're going to get and that are going to be really grateful to you for doing it this way.
Yeah. So, like, what it really comes down to is, like you said, just pushing through. And so when you started doing these new strategies, these new tactics, it felt uncomfortable to you, right? Yeah. You felt some resistance.
Yeah.
And what did you do to specifically overcome that?
Sometimes I had a little bit of wine before the phone call.
Okay, yeah.
Seriously, though, that kind of helps at first. But, like, just going over some of the questions that you have proven to work, asking those questions, just getting better with every single phone call. So more, just a lot of people. It needs to be a lot of people, because you're always going to have some that are kind of like going to not be your ideal client and not like this whole process. But that's not your ideal client. They're not going to spend a ton of money with you. They're looking for, shoot and burn and something really quick. But that it's just, you've got to just talk to a lot of people and keep refining it and focusing on what they're saying and what they're wanting, and then using that as fuel when you talk to other people. So say they like, I'm filling out your lead consultation tracking sheet, and I'm making notes on every call, or at least a lot of them that I can remember to do, on the things that I've said that have resonated with them, and like really cause them to like perk up, and they might go from disinterested, like, why are you calling me? I don't understand. And then you mention, like some of these things about creating these epic moments for them and helping with their timeline. And as you start talking to them, they're gonna be like more interested in some phrases or words that you say, and then just using that in the next conversation. So it just keeps getting better and better because you know what they're wanting. The general audience is wanting.
Yeah, it's like an iterative process. Like the more you do, the more feedback you get, the more you get to improve your process. And it just goes around and around until you just become like deadly, right? Where when somebody gets on the phone with you, like, you know that there's a very high chance that they're going to book with you. Okay, cool. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about, like, what were your results in May?
Yeah, I think we did, I booked at least 10 weddings. And then I may have done a little bit more, but it was around $35,000 worth of bookings just in May.
So that's seriously incredible, because when you think about, you know, like one of the things you said a minute ago was about COVID. You were doing all of this during COVID.
Yeah. Yes.
And you also said that you used COVID to your advantage, which is really a very like a counterintuitive thing. Most people see COVID as a disadvantage. You actually saw it as an advantage. Like, it's something to talk about. It's a segue. It's a way to give value.
Yeah. And not only that, but when, you know, I'm booking new clients and they're looking at 21, but they don't have a date yet, or they don't have a venue yet, I'm like, listen, you know, we've had a lot of people having to reschedule and they're being pushed to 21. So you really are going to want to, you know, quickly decide on a date. So I'm encouraging people to take action with COVID because of COVID, using that as their one of their. I mean, they need to book it anyway. It's, you know, spring of 21 is going to fill up for everybody around here really quickly. But that's another reason to do it. And then once I say that, they're like, "Oh yeah, you know, you're probably right." All right.
And it's 100% true, right? And yeah, that's freaking awesome. That's so cool.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's been huge for me. I think adding that, like, that element of you need to hurry up and book. You know, like, I think I've gotten a lot more confident through your guidance on creating like urgency to kind of shorten that sales process down so that they're not. They still have a lot of laggers, but where they're, you know, not in a major rush. But I'm really trying to get them to want to book, and they are doing it a lot faster.
That's cool. So yeah, that's seriously like amazing results. Like 35K in May during COVID. Like, that's seriously incredible, and you know, you should be proud of that. Like, and that's like, you're well on your way to your initial goal, right? Like doubling your business, you are well on your way to doing that.
Oh, I know that. I'm excited.
Yeah. So you said something else that I thought was really interesting. You said, like, you know, you've made some changes to your sales process, obviously, going from sending emails and pricing sheets to getting people on phone calls and giving value and asking questions and creating urgency. Did you ever feel like you were being like really salesy or pushy? And did that ever bother you?
You know, I think it's still a work in progress. Like, it's definitely improved quite a bit. But there's still, like, I still have off days where I'm like, yeah, I was a little probably too salesy. But I know how to improve, and I know, you know, what I need to do. And I tell you, when I get off the phone with somebody and, like, all I did was help them and guide them, and I didn't have that expectation that they were going to book, you take that off the table, and it's just like, I just know it's a home run after that. Like you just feel it, that's the case. So yeah, what was your question?
Well, no, I mean, like, did you ever feel like worried about being too salesy?
Of course, yeah. Yes, I definitely felt worried about being too salesy. And that was definitely one of the things I said to you, is that I didn't want to come off as too salesy. But that's not your approach, and your approach works. So I just did whatever you said to do. Followed your instruction. But yeah, no, I think just like going through the training and everything, like it's just, the questions, you're supposed to be asking more questions of them, listening, learning how to listen more, and really just reading their cues for buying, if they're ready or not, it's very important, because they're going to ask. If they're ready to buy, they're going to ask. If they're not asking, then they're not quite ready, and you just need to keep nurturing them in the group on your Facebook page.
Yeah. So how did you really get over that fear or that feeling of being too salesy?
I think it goes back to just listening to what you told me to do. I keep saying that, but that's why I hired you. So
what specifically did I tell you that was helpful?
To listen to them, to find out. They're going to tell you what they want, and you're just going to just listen and reiterate what it is that they want. So as they talk about their day and they start opening up to you about the emotions of the day, it's really like about that. You already know they love your pictures. So at this point, just talking to them, it's about creating a connection with them. Like if they have a date, you're not going. They're on the phone with you because they want whatever it is that you're offering. They wouldn't get on the phone with you otherwise. So at this point, it's really just about making sure they know that you can be trusted. You're going to show up. You're going to do the best job possible, and and just positioning an offer at the end of the call. If this sounds good to you, what do you guys think?
Yeah, so it's almost like the fear of being salesy or something like that. It's like the boogeyman in the closet, and then when you like go look in the closet, you find out there's really nothing there.
Yeah.
Like it's just people have gotten this idea that, like sales is a bad thing or something like that. But what I'm hearing from you is it's really just like listening to them, really understanding them and what they need. And then if you can help them, offering to help. And if you can't, then it's like no big deal at all. Like you're in my Facebook group. I'm going to continue helping you guys. Reach out if you need help. Right? Yep. It's a totally different mindset.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So one of the other things that you mentioned was that since working together over the last couple months, you've been able to hire 2 associates now, right?
Yeah.
And you also offer videography.
Yes.
Why did you do that? Why did you want to hire those guys, and why did you want to do video?
Because I was tired of sending potential clients away just because I already had that date booked. And I know, like, I've got a couple of these associates I hired have second shot for me. They do their own weddings in a whole different area. So it was just a matter of like, okay, do I want to send the money away completely, or do I want, I'm already booked, so I can't do anything about it, or do I want to make something off of it? And I think just like with your encouragement, it just seemed like a no-brainer, as far as the associates go. And then with the videographer, I just had a lot of people ask me all the time, do I do video too? Or do I offer video as well? So it's just, I just had to figure out, with your help, the process I was going to go through in which to sell those things. And then how to do it, because it's not your work, so you're kind of selling their work. And then just figuring out that process, and it's been working really great.
What do you feel like is the biggest benefit for you in being able to do that?
I mean, there's very little work. I'm like asking the associate if they're available on this date. They say yes. I send the contract. I'm like still the go-to for the client management aspect of it. But there, really it's just pretty easy. It's an easy way to make an extra $700 that if I didn't make it, if I couldn't have, I would have normally just sent it to another photographer and not made anything on it. So,
yeah.
So I'm like, it's like, why not make something versus nothing?
Yeah, it's like another stream of income
Yeah.
for your business, but you don't have to do the service delivery.
Right.
So you can just get on the phone, and these people, they want this, you can offer it to them. You have your other associates, and you have your, it's such a win-win.
Yeah, and now with all the leads and like I'm really booking up. So it just seemed like the next evolution to my business. Do I want to grow it? If I don't want to grow it, then I don't do this. So if I do want to grow this, then this is the next obvious thing to do.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be able to hand this down to my kids one day. Like if my kids want to take over, it would be fantastic if I had a successful business running, and even if one day I can't shoot, they can, and they have people that work for them. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is really awesome, and you're doing it.
It's
it's all happening. Yeah.
It's wild. So, it's been like a dream the past couple months. Really, I have to pinch myself every once in a while because it's so good. It's exactly what I wanted, and I knew I could get there. I just needed a little help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sky's the limit. Seriously, like we talk about this all the time. Like you have unlocked so much scale now with having these other guys to go shoot for you, and you did this all like in a couple months during COVID.
I really think I did that in like a week.
Yeah, no, you hired the first associate like right away. I remember that. But like, how long, when you started your group, like how long did it take until you had people like consistently messaging you and?
About like a month and a half.
Yeah. So you put a lot of like upfront work in.
Yeah.
And then like really started to see it start paying off like 6 weeks later.
I knew it would, because before I wasn't getting my images in front of everybody. Like I just kept posting to my business page, and it would be like whoever had already liked it was already a current client. So when you said go out and find people that are engaged and like they're seeing my work, so that this is actually the first time that potential clients are seeing my work on social media. Like it's like a duh moment. You're like, that just makes so much sense, because now you are advertising essentially to your audience, the engaged audience, not your clients, not the people that have already booked you. Like, what's the point in that? I was kind of hoping like they would send me friends or something, or like tag a friend, or that's what I was relying on with Facebook. But now I'm like a billboard for them. They see my work all the time. They're messaging me constantly because they're like, I need this. So
yeah, and anytime you want, you just go out and find more.
Yeah, there's a lot of power in that. That feels great.
Yeah. Instead of being reactive, you can go out, you can look for people, you can proactively grow your business when you want to, right? Instead of hanging back and waiting for the email to come in the inbox.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So
there is like a learning curve here too that should be mentioned. Is like the people that you find on social media and like they're seeing your stuff. What I really had to get used to is the fact that they're like top of the funnel. They really haven't been warmed up to you at all. And that was completely new for me, because when you're getting inquiries, those people have been warmed up somewhat. They've seen your work already. They've been referred to somebody who's already sold you, talked you up. So they were a pretty easy sell, and it was like, if they ever responded back to a price sheet. But now, those people that are already warmed up, I'm getting them on the phone and I'm booking like 80% or something like that. Like, I'm booking just about everyone that's already been warmed up. But with Facebook, you have to warm them up. So you can't expect instant results. I mean, sometimes I'll get lucky and like I'll just start a conversation. I book several that way, just cold. They'll just be like, hey, well, can we do an engagement session? So it's just a different way of thinking about it that I wasn't used to. And it's a lot more of like just giving these people time to warm up to you and get to know you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said something really, really powerful there. Like, it's a new mental model. Like, instead of thinking about it in terms of like getting an inquiry, sending pricing, yes or no, right? It's like, we think about it more in terms of like there's a funnel. People have to go through certain stages in order to become a customer. And some people go through those stages faster than others.
Yes.
Right? And also, sometimes people come to you and they've gone through that so fast, they're already warm. They're like ready to buy, they're ready to book because they were sent from another vendor.
Right.
But that's not everybody, right? And when you understand that, it changes the way you go about this stuff. Yeah. And you realize that there's more things that need to happen, but in the long run, it's way more effective.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now I've got at least almost 300 people that could potentially be my customer any day. So you're just putting out good information for them and being a resource, and they're seeing your work, and so it's just like this steady stream of inquiries now, nonstop.
Yeah, your phone is like always going off every time we're talking.
It's insane. I've got like 4 inquiries since this morning since I started speaking with you.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It is.
So, all right. What would you say to somebody, excuse me, what would you say to somebody maybe that like is thinking about joining us in Next Level and they're a photographer, like, but they're maybe on the fence or like, I don't know. What would you say to that person?
But if you're willing to do what it takes, then this is a no-brainer. This is, if you actually want your business to go to the next level, and really grow, and if you really want clients, only if you really want more clients, should you hire Peter. If you don't want more clients, then don't do it. You'll get slammed. You're going to be a lot busier than before you hired him.
Right
Yeah.
on.
It's just been I think I've been in this business for 12 years. For 12 years, I've done this professionally. I always have listened to podcasts. I've listened to marketing techniques, and I've applied some of those. But there was never like I've hired people to do this for me kind of thing. But I'm the type of person that like wants to do the legwork, and that just every other thing never really panned out to this scale. Like I would get leads, but it wouldn't be near what I've gotten since joining this group. And then if you need the extra like handhold like I do, you've been willing to do that with me, and just allowing me to like really understand how to do this and wrap my head around this has been like super cool. So I know that I can do this on my own at this point. It's so powerful. It's just, I think it would be like, I almost think I underpaid you. It should have been a lot more. Because this has just been like the best thing I've ever done with my business in 12 years of being in business. Hands down.
That's amazing. It's really cool. So last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in the community now in Next Level for a couple months. You've seen, some of the other members, like the challenges that people go through. What would your number one piece of advice be for other members inside the group to like help them get awesome results?
I would just say, if you're watching the videos, just do the activity that you tell them to do in the videos. So you have these clear like examples on how to be proactive to do things, and I think that's just like it's like the easiest way to go about it. Just do what you say to do. If I were to be more specific, I guess I would say like find a lot of engaged couples, because I think the ads have been great for me, but organic leads have been even better. So just keep adding, keep going through the numbers. It's a quantity more than it is anything else doing it this way, organic Facebook marketing. So you're just going to need to friend request a lot of people and just keep doing that, and then keep messaging them. Make a point of friending like 30 people. Well, don't get flagged by Facebook like I have, but 10, 20 people a day, friend request 10, 20 people a day. And then the next day, set a time to message those people or give them a day or 24 hours or something. But always go back and message those people to start the conversation, to get them into your group. I think that's been the biggest thing for me. Because like I said, that's all I've done for the most part. Haven't ran that many ads. Every time I do, I get like 2 to 4 weddings. But when I'm adding people organically, like I said, every day now, I get inquiries from the people that I've added into the group. So just do that. Add them, message them. If they've accepted your friend request, then they've already accepted you. They've already allowed you to into their life a little bit. So I think that's been the biggest thing.
That's awesome. That's great advice. Just consistency on it every day.
Yeah.
And like you said before, like you're going to get quick wins, but the big windfall of results, like the things you do today, you're going to see the massive returns, 30, 60, 90 days from now.
Yeah.
But consistently doing it and just hammering on it every day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for jumping on. I know this is going to help a lot of people, both inside the group and outside. Maybe it'll inspire some people that, want to take their business to the next level as well. With that, I'm sure we'll be talking very soon. And I look forward to seeing you continue to scale this business and just keep growing it. So.
Yeah, thank you so much for everything. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. All right. Thanks again, Amanda. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Katie.